To the games in England to League Two then. Macclesfield and Swindon meeting at Moss Road. Here's Alan Owen.
Decent game this, still goalless, 25 minutes have elapsed. Swindon have had the better of the chances after it was Macclesfield who had the first of the day, with Tony Diagni heading just wide from a wonderfully driven free kick from the right edge of the penalty area. But Swindon have grown into this game, and Rafael De Vita has had the two best chances, the first of which, his little flick, was tipped onto the post by Macclesfield goalkeeper Jose Vega, who's played well because he's made a wonderful save from Matt Ritchie just moments ago, flicking over the crossbar. But it was De Vita who probably came closest in between those efforts with a powerful header that was superbly kept out by the Macclesfield keeper. It's entertaining, fair, and it's still goalless at Moss Rose.
And let's find out how things are going. Macclesfield against Swindon at Moss Rose with Alan Owen.
From half-time, Macclesfield have just come close to breaking the deadlock. Ben Tomlinson with a powerful header from around about 7 or 8 yards out, narrowly wide of the keeper's left-hand post. But Swindon have created the better of the chances. Rafael De Vita with two efforts, both well saved by goalkeeper Joseph Vega. We did have one comedy moment a few minutes ago when keeper Paul Smith in the Swindon goal dropped a simple cross, and it almost rebounded off his own central defender and back towards his own goal, but he managed to smother it in time. It is still goalless with about 11 minutes to go to half-time.
Half-time as well. Macclesfield and Swindon. Let's get the news from the first 45 with Alan Owen.
Well, it's been entertaining enough, but it's goalless here at Moss Rose. Macclesfield have demonstrated a determination and a willingness, whereas Swindon have demonstrated the cultured approach. Maybe you'd expect that from a Paolo di Canio side, with a couple of Italians amongst them. And Rafael De Vita, one of those Italians who has come closest to breaking the deadlock on a couple of occasions, thwarted twice by excellent goalkeeping from Macclesfield's Portuguese keeper Jose Vega. As far as the home side are concerned, well, a header early on from Tiago that went wide, and then the header from Ben Tomlinson 12 minutes before half-time that was powered just wide of the left-hand post. In between times, Matt Ritchie for Swindon hit one from 30 yards, which looked set for the top of the roof of the net as far as Macclesfield's keeper was concerned, but he was good enough to flick it over the crossbar for the corner. As I say, Swindon, probably their 500 fans will be a little more excited by what they've seen at half-time, where it is at Moss Rose, Macclesfield 0, Swindon 0.
And Alan Owen can bring us up to date with the Macclesfield-Swindon game. Alan.
5 minutes into the second half at Moss Rose, still goalless, not too much to write home about in the opening exchanges of this half. Ben Tomlinson for Macclesfield driving a ball into the penalty area, which in the end didn't cause Swindon's rearguard any problems. Down at the other end, Swindon are attacking the end where their 500 fans have gathered behind the goal of Jose Vega, and they have just come close with Matt Ritchie pulling one back from a corner just across the face of the penalty area, but in the end, again, resulting in nothing. Still goalless here, early stages of this second half.
And at last, a goal in the Macclesfield-Swindon game. Here's Alan Owen.
And it's gone to the home side. The breakthrough coming on 61 minutes, and a wonderfully worked goal it was too. First of all, it was Ben Tomlinson who got the flick on the halfway line to George Donnelly, who himself flicked the ball over the defender with his head, got on the end of it, ran to the edge of the penalty area and drove it superbly past the keeper to put Macclesfield 1 goal to the good. And a word as well on the Swindon goalkeeper, because it was a substitute goalkeeper that Donnelly drove the ball past for his first goal for the club. 6 minutes into the second half, Swindon keeper Paul Smith went off injured. Mattia Lanzano coming on for his debut in the Swindon goal. So a first goal for Macclesfield for George Donnelly in his 5th start for the club. He's delighted, so are the home fans. Macclesfield lead 1-0.
That is a good stat he's dug out there, isn't it? The most shots off target in League Two. Well, there has been one on target and in the net at Macclesfield. Here's Alan Owen.
There has indeed. Just moments ago, Ross Draper firing home from the edge of the penalty area to double Macclesfield's advantage. George Donnelly had put them in front with his first goal for the club in the 61st minute, but Ross Draper has surely sealed it now for the home side. Swindon, who've struggled away from home this season, feel a little aggrieved because just prior to Draper's goal, they feel they should have had a penalty, and I'm with them on this one because Matt Ritchie, clear through inside the penalty area, took the ball around the goalkeeper. For me, he was caught by the keeper, he lost his balance and was unable to put the ball in the net, and the Swindon players surrounded referee Steve Rushton. He was having none of it. Paolo di Canio furious on the touchline, but to no avail, I'm afraid, because Macclesfield went down the other end. Ross Draper scored, and I think that's it. 3 points heading for the home side. Macclesfield 2, Swindon 0, just 5 minutes or so remaining.
To this evening is at Moss Rose, where Macclesfield are up against Swindon. Here's Alan Owen.
And the final whistle has just gone here at Moss Rose. Delight for the home fans because Macclesfield have won it by 2-0. Paolo Di Canio will be having sleepless nights about his side's away form. 5 defeats from their 6 trips on the road this season. And in all honesty, they had the better chances today, no question about that. Throughout the course of the evening, they created the clearer openings. Rafael De Vita in the first half, thwarted twice by excellent saves from Jose Veiga, the Portuguese keeper, in the sticks for Macclesfield. But Macclesfield took the chances that came their way. On 61 minutes, George Donnelly stroking home from the edge of the penalty area after he'd done all the hard work. And then 7 minutes from time, it was Ross Draper to fire home from the edge of the box again after Swindon had failed to clear. I think Di Canio will feel that his side played the better football. I agree with him. And I think they can feel a little bit aggrieved that they didn't get a penalty when they were 1-0 down. We'll see what he's got to say about that later. But Macclesfield's good run of form at home continues. They've not been beaten here since the opening day. They've won this one by 2-0 tonight.
Macclesfield bounced straight back from their defeat at Plymouth, but not without a scare or two. Rafael De Vita scuffed his shot when a clean connection would surely have given Swindon the lead. Instead, Paolo Di Canio's men fell behind midway through the second half, thanks to an excellent solo goal from George Donnelly. He simply refused to be stopped. The same applied when Swindon's Matt Ritchie was at the centre of the match's main talking points. One-on-one with keeper Jose Veiga, he appeared to be fouled. Staying on his feet proved counterproductive. No penalty, leading Di Canio to proclaim that in future he'll tell his players to dive. Swindon's irritation increased 7 minutes from the end as their hopes of a comeback were killed off for good. Another fine finish for Macclesfield, Ross Draper this time to confirm Swindon's 5th away defeat in 6.
Swindon's stuttering campaign suffered another setback as they lost at Macclesfield on Friday night. Former Plymouth striker George Donnelly fired the home side ahead, and Ross Draper sealed 3 points to condemn Swindon to a 5th away defeat of the season. Chris Spittles for the West Country Tonight.
In football, Swindon's good run of form came to an end last night. They forced some good saves from the Macclesfield keeper, but still went down 2-0. Swindon definitely dominating the first half and came close with a few good shots, including that free kick. But then 2 second-half goals secured the points for Macclesfield. Ross Draper taking the best 7 minutes from time. So a disappointing result for them. Swindon remain in 10th place in League Two. Fixture in Macclesfield saw Swindon's mixed start to the season continue. Second half goals from the Macclesfield duo George Donnelly and Ross Draper, enough to condemn the Robins to a 5th League Two defeat in 6 away matches. They stay midway in the League Two table.
If Swindon are to mount a serious promotion challenge, they'll have to improve their away form. The Robins had lost 4 of their 5 league games on the road prior to their trip to the Moss Rose to face Macclesfield. Paolo Di Canio's side thrashed Barnet 4-0 at the county ground in their previous match. Rafael De Vita scored the opening goal that day, and he almost repeated the feat here. Callum Kennedy then tried his luck via a free kick in a first half dominated by the visitors. Swindon continued to press the home team. De Vita was soon denied again. Jose Veiga had an inspired evening in the Silkman's goal. Ben Tomlinson had Macclesfield's best effort in the opening 45 minutes, but it remains scoreless at the interval. The first goal of the night eventually arrived just past the hour, and it came the way of the home team. George Donnelly got the better of Mattia Lanzano, who'd come on for Phil Smith just minutes earlier. But Macclesfield were then left breathing a huge sigh of relief after Matt Ritchie threatened to pull Swindon level. Although the winger persevered, the Robins felt they still should have been awarded a penalty. The home side made the most of their good fortune and wrapped things up 7 minutes from the end. Di Canio's team failed to clear their lines, and Ross Draper found the corner of the net to make it 2-0 with his second goal of the season. So the Silkmen managed to put their Plymouth defeat firmly behind them with this notable victory, as Swindon went down to yet another away defeat.